Hey guys, welcome to another segment of class. For those that are not following me on Twitter, please do. I'm always bringing out new content every month, bi-weekly, sometimes depending on how busy I am. Sometimes I also post on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at BrianCon_raw. Thanks guys, stay tuned, cheers. Alright guys, so basically what we've been doing has been kind of getting in the action of implementing this charisma that we have. So we basically followed the step-by-step process of what the internal mechanisms are in controlling our emotions, thoughts, and reactions. Of course, influencing our atmosphere with our thought waves, our physical exertions, and our emotions, and what constitutes what sexual magnetism and sexual energy is. Now, what I've been actually starting with was women, because women don't need much to obtain what they need. But what I've seen so much is that sometimes they don't know how to use that feminine power. And basically, what I'm going to do is teach you how to use that. And what's feminine power, what women's power really is the ability to give men permission, or an individual permission to perform for them, to do something for them. So we were talking about favors in the last video that I had. You provide the opportunity for a man to create a favor for you, and that makes him feel more of a man. Now, what we're doing is basically having individuals respect your time, because if you don't, then people will walk all over you, right? So, of course, you want to be nice to people, and that's what is expected from a woman. Now, if you're in a professional actual domain, it would be more of, people will ask favors. If you're a teacher, your students walk all over you because they're asking so much of you, and you become overwhelmed. And what you want to do, within a courtship or a professional domain, is be able to have that, to kind of think about, okay, you've interested me, let's see what else you can do. Investigate more, investigate further. And what I want you to do, and some women actually do this unconsciously, and some actually know how to do this very well as well. And this is like a 1 through 10 scale. And of course, men do this as well, especially with beauty. But what you do is you're basically sizing up the person that you're looking at. And within a courtship domain, basically you're looking at the behaviors, the way that someone walks, obviously compared to someone that is not confident. Obviously there's a difference, there's a discrepancy. How they talk, how they're talking, is more about their tonality, if they're confident within their voice, what they're saying afterwards, if they can articulate the words, if they know how to convey what they're trying to say, as well as how they look at you. Confidence is very important, because if a man can't look at you within the eyes, that means that he's not, comfortable within himself, his skin, and in society. So what we're doing is just allowing that to actually be possible. So you give the ball to the other person in your own stadium. You let them score, but you are giving them permission to play your game. So we're setting the pace. Basically, what we can do is match what we want them to feel. So we were talking about sexual energy and sexual magnetism. So if you're feeling sexual, the other person will feel sexual as well. Now, if you want to be a little challenge, or if you are not sure of a person, they are conveying that they're very confident, but you're really not sure, you can also make them feel awkward. See if they can actually pick up the ball once again after they dropped it. And this is through emotional contagion. And this is basically, throughout mirror neurons, throughout history, people that feel scared will feel scared once they look at someone that looks like they're scared. Just like someone who looks like they're attracted, whether they feel attracted to them, they'll feel attracted as well. Now, you have to be able to be comfortable with discomfort. And I've talked about this before, especially with awkward situations, and focus, especially within our new generation, the Y generation, the X generation, I'm not really sure. We have individuals that are always on their phones. So there's not much focus. They lack focus. And this says a lot about a person, because obviously if you can't look at someone in the face, in the eyes, it shows that you're not confident, that you're not comfortable in your own skin, that you can't really actually have a conversation, and there you lose. So society has always been more critical with women about their etiquettes, about being proper and everything like that. So there's no reason why women can't do the same thing with men. Now, this gives permission for emotional reciprocity, to reciprocate, as well as in a professional domain to have people, tell you what they're offering. Instead of like, oh yeah, I'll just buy a purse. No, what kind of purse is it? What makes me believe that you are giving the best purse out there? So what we do is just we set those boundaries with warmth. So sometimes you'll walk through the mall and sometimes you'll have an individual that startles you because all you wanted to do is just buy a purse. So what do? Sometimes they'll ask you for the phone number and you're like, okay. And they creep you out because all they're doing is texting you, because in their mind they think that you are interested, but really you're just being nice. Stop doing that. Stop telling them that you have a boyfriend. Some men actually find that as a challenge. They say, wow, if I can take someone else's girl, I'm the man, right? So just like a meme that I saw with Leonardo DiCaprio, I like this girl. She has a boyfriend, and his friend was like, so? He's like, well, she's taken. He's like, well, in soccer there's a goalie, but it doesn't mean that you can't score, right? So that's the challenge mentality. So what we want to do is just be warm, kind. I'm sorry, I'm actually in a hurry. All I wanted to do was actually come to the mall. I have something else pending as well. People can understand that. But you can also say, I have to go, but thank you so much for getting, the confidence, or, going out of your way to actually speak to me, because it feels so good to have someone admire my characteristics, my intelligence, my beauty. And people will appreciate that of you. Remember, we were talking about asking for favors? This is basically the permission that you're giving men to perform for you. So if you tell them that, I don't want to talk to you, that hurts. That hurts men, that hurts people, because what they're doing is they're putting themselves out there. They're actually making the effort to be someone different, and what happens is that you're cutting the thread, and that stops a development. So just like teachers, don't take an opportunity for someone to learn. Don't ever do that. So just to make it easier for you, all you have to do is just tell them the truth. All I wanted to do was just buy a Mac, a purse. Thank you so much. I'm actually not interested at the very moment, but I hope that your pursuits actually lead you to a nice girl. But thank you so much for, getting out of your way, and I hope to see you soon, maybe when it's not an inconvenient time for me. So hopefully that helps, especially within the power of feminine energy within a courtship and a professional domain. Alright guys, so I'm out and about, letters talked about.